Am I the asshole for telling my boyfriend's friend's fiance I didn't pay for the couple's trip? So I, 24 female, went on a trip with my boyfriend, 27 male, and his friend, 26 male, along with his fiance, 25 female. This happened last weekend, so the fallout is still a little active. I was told the fiance planned the cabin trip, and this was my first time meeting her. So upon meeting her, I said, thanks for planning everything. The cabin was so beautiful, great location and amenities, so great choice on her behalf. I'm gushing over her planning skills and asking for tips as I'm in charge of planning a trip with my boyfriend in the upcoming 5 weeks. My fiance casually mentioned the price of the cabin and that it was a steal. And I'm sure that it was. It was cheap. And he said it was split 4 ways. I told her it didn't make me any difference as I wasn't paying for the cabin anyways. She got quiet when I said that for a few minutes, but we resumed the good vibes. So I didn't think anything of it. The whole weekend, she was giving her fiance the cold shoulder. According to my boyfriend, it turned into the three of us versus the friend since she was hanging out more with me most of the trip. And my boyfriend liked to be under me too. So it was like so bad that she sit with us on the sofa and make the fiance sit by himself in the recliner chair. Every time I went to the hot tub, she went with us. Or if we wanted to go on a morning walk, she would come too without her fiance. So this sounds like she was upset that the cabin wasn't split 4 ways. It was split 3 ways. And it sounds like she would have wished, or it should have been split 2 ways. Like the guy should have paid since the other girlfriend didn't have to pay for the cabin at all. That's what this sounds like. I didn't notice anything weird since this is my first time meeting her and interacting with them. So I didn't understand how their relationship worked. I just thought maybe they're not affectionate. Fast forward to today. My boyfriend gets a call from his friend pissed that I told his fiance I didn't pay for anything. This apparently ruined his trip as his fiance felt and said this in private to him that she felt embarrassed to sleep with him or be affectionate to him in front of us since I'm so well taken care of by my boyfriend and she doesn't feel the same way. My boyfriend was in shock and is mostly a listener, so he didn't really defend me, but said to keep the peace, he'll ask. I no longer discuss finances with his fiance. I said, okay, but still wondering if I was the asshole to mention it on the trip. Everyone had already paid. We were already there to have a good time, so maybe I should have just focused on that instead of who paid for what. So am I the asshole? I mean, so one thing I will say is I don't think you're the asshole because your boyfriend never told you not to mention that you didn't put in for the trip. I mean, granted, he didn't know that she would feel some type of way, but that's their problem, not your problem. Like, I mean, and her fiance was the one who mentioned how much the trip cost anyways. Like, so it wasn't like you asked how much it was. Like, you didn't volunteer the information until he was like, oh, yeah, it was split 4 ways. So I don't think that you're the asshole. I do think that your boyfriend should have defended you a little bit more because at the end of the day, you didn't know that she would feel some type of way that she had to pay. And we cannot compare our relationships to other people's relationships. Like, everybody's relationships is different, and we don't get to piggyback off of how somebody else's relationship is and then compare it to our own. It's like, oh, well, you don't do that for me, so now I feel embarrassed. Like, girl, what? Like, what about the things that her boyfriend don't do for her that your boyfriend do for you? Like, how are you going to sit there and feel some type of way about him and then give him the cold shoulder the entire weekend because you felt some type of way about paying for the cabin? Girl, your friend, the girlfriend was corny. The fiance, excuse me. The fiance was very corny for that. Like, everybody paid for this trip but you, but now she was being a little salty. Like, and now she only wanted to hang out with you and your boyfriend and now kind of give her boyfriend a cold shoulder. And that was really whack of her. Like, she could have enjoyed herself with everyone, and then when she got home, maybe she could have said something. But at the end of the day, that's nobody's fault because you didn't pay. Like, if your boyfriend was like, oh, hey, you don't have to pay, that's between the two of y'all. Like, and like I said, you didn't know not to say anything. It's not like he told you not to say anything and you still blurted it out anyways. It wasn't like that. So, no, I don't think you're the asshole. And I mean, maybe since you already got to know the girl a little bit better, maybe you could have a conversation with her like, hey, listen, like, I didn't pay to go on a trip, but that doesn't mean like your boyfriend is better than mine or my boyfriend is better than yours. Like, there could be stuff that they do differently that, you know, we appreciate them as boyfriends. Like, so I definitely think maybe have a conversation with her since you already know who she is and you're, you know, getting to know her a little bit better. But I definitely wouldn't feel like I'm the asshole. And maybe that's just me being like who I am personally. But I'm not about to sit here and bring other people's problems into my life because you feel some type of way about it. Like, that's a you problem and you have to deal with it. And that's it. Like, I'm not about to be bringing the whole world's problem onto me because you decided that you wanted to feel some type of way about my boyfriend paying for me to go on a trip and your boyfriend decided to let you split it. Sometimes when I go out with my boyfriend, we pay half and half. Like, that's just what it is sometimes. Like, I pay sometimes he pay. But, like, that's what relationships are about. Like, compromise and helping out each other. Not just feeling like, oh, your boyfriend did this and now my boyfriend didn't, so now I feel embarrassed. Girl, get it together and act like an adult. That's it. No, you're not the asshole.